Hi, I'm Eric Dewey from the Socially Awkward Studios, Science and Beer, and Her Majesty's Secret Podcast, and you're listening to another proud presentation of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Check out more shows at foureyedradio.com. Hey there, Eric here from Socially Awkward Studios, and this Four-Eyed Radio presentation is being proudly brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
Double Dragon, right?
No, it's Battletoads.
Oh, it's Battletoads.
Yeah. Like the best music ever. Anyways, guys, welcome to the podcast. Mm-hmm. Once again, I'm Jay Agamemnon.
I am Bobbybeatle.
And we got a couple of good topics for you. Any of those that have never listened to this podcast, I don't blame you.
And are we starting off strong with some DW action?
Yeah, this is, just for those who don't know, this is a gaming-related podcast that for those that usually visit us every Monday, we do straight out of Austin.
Yeah, hence the safe file corruption, as this happens to everybody at some point or another in their gaming lives.
That's right. So we're going to kick things off with the greatest news to come out this week so far. Mm-hmm. Dynasty Warriors Gundam Reborn coming to PS3 July 4th. We got a date.
You mean that game that Koei and Bandai came together? It's like, you know what? Agamemnon needs a game to play. That's pretty good. So what's happening?
What was that, like 2008 when the first one came out?
Yeah, but when I saw that it existed at GameStop, it was probably like a year or two after. But yeah. So what's the deal with this new one?
Well, we knew there was gonna. Well, I knew it was gonna come stateside. I just didn't know when.
They emailed you,
and the only thing that I knew about it was that it was gonna be a digital release, and that's my only gripe about it. But it's gonna hit. It's gonna be available digitally July 4th for $40. So that's a good thing. It's $40.
Yeah,
so I don't really want to pay $60, and I'm almost close to platinum on
3.
Yeah,
nice.
You know, I've always played the game and then just kind of came back to it. But in the last maybe 2 or 3 months, I've sat down and really just I'm gonna grind some shit out. Like there's a lot to do in this game. Yeah, so I've clocked in about like 100 almost 120 hours now.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, so and it only clocks in what you're doing in game.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't count menu time or nothing like that.
That's good.
It's like Battlefield, like it clocks your on the field hours.
Nice. I think not Tales of Symphonia. I forget the name of it. Star Ocean International. I think that just clocks the time as a whole, while you're in the game.
Oh, so you're in the menu and it's just like.
Yeah, because I think that has one menu that's the action menu, and then one menu that actually pauses it for options and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if it stops during the pause menu. I'm pretty sure it does. But yeah, I know what you're talking about with the
right
timer keep going.
Another couple of cool things is that you'll be able to not only co-op split screen like you have been able to do in all the other games. You can actually co-op online. Now the previous game had a co-op, but it was kind of fuzzy, and I still don't know the details about online for this game, but. You can play up to 4 people online in Gundam 3. Mm-hmm. The only thing is that there's no army of mechs to fight. There's no army of Zaku's or
what
whatnot.
Do you mean? What do you do?
Well, it's just you and 3 other dudes, and you're fighting just a bunch of ace pilots. Oh. But your thing's so beefy, it doesn't really matter what level you play on because all 4 of you are just gang raping this one ace pilot. It's just. It's not even a challenge, so you could just sit there and grind it all day and just get some free trophies. Yeah. And that's actually one of the only trophies I need. It's defeat 20 ace pilots, defeat 100 ace pilots, defeat 1,000 enemies, or 100 enemies, defeat 1,000 enemies of the ones that just swat around. But it's not fun, so I haven't spent a lot of time doing it. I've only done it three missions.
But it was easy to get the achievements for those online features or whatever?
Well, it will be easy. I haven't done it yet, but well, the only other thing that's hard is that there's not a whole lot of people really playing online.
Gundam 3, yeah.
You know? Yeah, and the only time there are, it's 1 or 2 in the morning when people like me are playing this game when there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
You know? Another really cool thing, it's actually a first for the series, is you'll be able to pilot the mobile armors. Now, for those of you not familiar with the game, mobile armors are these huge mechs that are like 2 to 3 times the size of the regular mechs, which are like 50 feet tall.
I think the first time I saw that was at the Muso Gundam. The Muso Gundam.
The Muso Gundam.
Yeah.
They're usually on the covers of each game.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're huge. So this time around, you actually get to pilot them. So that's going to be pretty boss.
Are they going to be like that big?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be crazy.
I hope so, man. I hope they don't like shrink them down like they do in Lego.
Yeah,
where it's
exactly.
like you beat Galactus at the Lego game, and then you get to be Galactus, but he's just the same size as Wolverine. It's like,
tiny.
oh man, come on.
Galactus is 5'3". Like, come on, bub.
So, anyways, moving on to the next topic.
Let's do it.
Kid loses at Call of Duty. Calls SWAT on his opponent.
Oh my god, that's unbelievable. That just shows it can happen for any game, but Call of Duty, it's just that certain type of people. You've seen people who play like Madden and stuff like that. The sports players.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Can I read this quote that he said?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to get the attention of the police, as if calling 911 won't get the attention of the police themselves. He had to say, "I just killed my mother, and I might shoot more people." He did this when he contacted the police via Skype. So what does the police do? They're gonna send SWAT over.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the thing. Even if you call 911,
yeah,
and it's an accidental call, they have to go out there.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah, exactly. And he says this, and he thinks that everything's good. He lost the prank worked in a 2-hour standoff. More than 60 officers, including a special operations team, surrounded the house with weapons drawn.
Wow.
Helicopters took up positions overhead.
Jesus.
Castillo's mother and brother came outside, assuring police that they were alive, but officers still needed Raphael, the person they believe made the threats, to come out. Raphael, however, was completely oblivious to all this. He was still playing the game and had his headphones on. Wow.
True.
You don't notice the SWAT team because your freaking Tritons are on still. It took 20 minutes to get him outside, at which point police entered the house and confirmed the report was fake. Police are now trying to track down Raphael's opponents, who they suspect is probably just an evil little kid. In quotes, probably just an evil little kid.
And where did this happen, did it say?
Long Island. So is that New York? Yeah. Jesus, like what? So he just like call, yo, I'm about to kill somebody. I'm gonna kill my whole family. I kill my mother, and you just go back to the next round of Call of Duty.
Yeah, I actually want to kind of give this kid some at least some leeway, by saying okay, this kid couldn't have been that evil to where it's just like, oh, I just lost 5 straight against this one dude. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna call the SWAT on him. Mm-hmm. I think this dude, he's so focused on this game, that he had his Tritons on, not even paying attention to the SWAT, right?
The sound blasters.
Yeah. I just got the volume up to 11. Like, Mom, don't bother me, I'm in the zone, right?
Did my homework already.
I don't care if SWAT comes, whatever happens, don't bother me. And that's exactly what they did or didn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's playing Call of Duty. It's serious. I think this kid that got SWAT called him, he's probably a little d-bag. He was probably talking shit to this other kid. Because I want to give this kid at least a little bit of credibility and be like, okay, he had to have been driven, but he had to be coaxed.
Yeah.
And be like, I bet you won't call SWAT, or your mom's this or that, or just something.
Yeah.
This kid probably had to say something to this other kid to make him want to call SWAT on him.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
about
the
that.
other kid had to be. It's a two-way street whenever you're talking trash on Xbox Live. The other person could be like, "Dude, mom," or all the stupid 12-year-old things you can say, and they're gonna be like, "Well, you're stupid too," and all this stuff, and you're a little d-bag.
I also think there's more to it though, because we're assuming a lot. So we're assuming that the kid that got SWAT called on him, the winner, we'll call him the winner.
We'll call him the winner.
Didn't know who the loser was, because obviously they can't track the loser.
Mm-hmm.
But how the hell did the loser find the winner's address? Because it's one thing where you can IP trace, but IP trace doesn't tell you all the intricate little details of where the kid lives. It just kind of tells you, the area's kind of here, but not really, which is a common misconception that people think that your IP address is the same as your mailbox address.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true.
It's like, I think your subnet probably says a lot more about where you live than your actual IP.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
You know?
Yeah.
So there's a lot being assumed.
That's true.
And I don't think the right things are being assumed. So they might actually, in my opinion, they might know each other. You know, where it's just like, hey, let's play a prank on each other. Whatever. I don't know. We don't know, but, you know.
But we do know that Long Island's probably not going to spend any more funds
Yeah.
pursuit.
They're probably going to shoot the
Of this
next kid who calls.
Probably just to freaking support, just to justify a whole SWAT team being sent out to a fake call.
Well, I mean, it's not only that, but like, what did he say? I killed my mother, and I might shoot more people.
Yeah.
What does that say to the SWAT officers that are going out on that call? Like, honey, I might not come home tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna be sniping some people. I'm gonna make sure I come home tonight, but I might not come home tonight.
Yeah.
So tell little Julie I love her.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff is what's happening. These dudes are like suiting up.
Yeah.
And like, it's SWAT. It's like the best of the best, but hey,
yeah,
they might just had their last meal at the In-N-Out like an hour ago.
So would the SWAT captain, let's say, just call him Sam Jackson, when he gets home, the wife is crying, I'm so glad you made it home, what happened? He's just going to look at her and be like, some bullshit.
Some old bullshit.
Some old bullshit.
Some old bullshit.
What to worry about, baby. Some evil little kid.
And then he starts quoting the path of the righteous man.
The kid's already asleep by the end of the sermon.
Yeah. And then he dies in his sleep. Believe
Yeah.
that?
Then he walks.
The irony.
Then he walks to Earth like Kung Fu. But, that's about it. Call of Duty.
Moving on.
Call of Duty kids are going to be Call of Duty kids.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I put LOL what.
I saw that and I was like, I thought the same thing.
Alright, good. Looks like that's yours.
Yeah. Tales of Xillia 2 coming to America in August.
Nice.
The game's actually releasing August 19th.
Nice.
It's also going to come out at the same time, I believe for $60. Collector's Edition is going to be available at the same time for $130. And that includes a figurine of the main protagonist, Ludger Kresnik, if I'm saying that right. A replica pocket watch that doesn't actually work. Because if it did, I'm sure the collector's edition would
I would be a state alchemist.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right?
Yes.
With the little lion roaring.
Oh, so good.
It comes, and oddly enough, it comes with a cat keychain.
Ooh.
So not exactly a lion pocket watch, but if they combine the two through equivalent
It's
exchange...
official. Yeah.
Right?
That's exactly right.
Right?
Yeah.
It could have been something. Could have been something great.
We can walk around. All right.
And some selected music tracks. It also comes with a pretty extensive art book, which, you know, people love art books.
Yeah.
And a costume DLC from previous games in the franchise.
That's cool.
So you could possibly dress up as Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia.
I always appreciate alternate costumes in any game. They're always fun.
Especially, I mean, well, they're not free because you're paying $130. That's included. But the fact that it comes with that, that's a nice little bonus.
Yeah, regardless if it comes free or not, I'm always...
I'm sure the figurine itself probably costs about $30-$40.
Oh, probably, yeah. If that would be a bargain if it's probably like that much. It's probably going to be like those kind of or like those models and stuff they just sell, like the Titanfall models or the...
Well, even the ones you put together, like a Gundam model kit.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never bought one cheaper than $20.
Yeah, but the ones they've been getting around giving out lately for like new game releases and stuff, like the one for Titanfall, the one for Injustice, they've been pretty high quality figures that you would get like a Dragon's Lair or something for like $50-$60.
Yeah.
So maybe something like that looks really good. But as far as the character costumes, one thing I'll say about it, costume DLC is one thing that I'll always buy.
Yeah.
So certain things, it's like, you're not going to nickel and dime me for anything, not for map packs, but for costumes, I'm just like, I would like to look like 5 different versions of the same character. It just makes it feel so fresh.
See, I was conflicted with the last Naruto game because it's got a lot of cool costume stuff, but a lot of it's like kind of fan service. Yeah. I'm always like pro fan service. This was like swimsuit Tsunade.
Dang.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't do like the young version, like when she was like in when she was one of the legendary 3.
The what they called Genin or something like that.
Not that Genin. Well, I mean, she was like a Jonin at that time.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
the legendary.
But yeah,
3,
when
whatever.
they, like old school Tsunade, like young Tsunade, you know, when she was like starting out. Like, how about that costume? It was like, no, let's do swimsuit and Goku Naruto. So it's kind of like, really, guys.
That's true. Yeah.
Atari, CyberConnect 2. Come on, guys.
That's true. Thinking that I didn't play much of Naruto games. I know what kind of if they're all like that cheesy or something like that, and that's cool. I know Lars. I forget. He has a long last
Alexander.
name. Alexander. I always say Alexson, but I always know I'm missing like 3 syllables. Alexander said. I don't know if it's his alternate costumes or his regular costumes. I don't know if it's his alternates or his regular costumes, but he always looks cool.
Yeah.
Like he has like the armor and the cape. Like those look like cool alternate I think that's his regular costumes maybe.
One was actually the one that I think it was Tekken 6. He had this kind of like a ceremonial robe looking thing.
Yeah,
that was actually designed by I'm butchering his first name, Kishimoto.
Oh, okay.
Who's the guy that created Naruto.
Is that the one that he wears in the game?
He also wears it in the
that's...
Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 2. Yeah.
Does he have like a one metal part like on one of his arms or something?
Yeah,
like
it's like a forearm guard.
Yeah. I just remember he always looks really cool. The animation in that game is always so crisp.
Oh yeah, CyberConnect 2 is tops, which is why I was so disappointed with Asura's Wrath. Because
they make that?
They made it, but
okay.
It was like a crunch time, and all the DLC and all the whole fiasco with that. Like they just weren't given like the time and proper resources to like truly make a really good game.
Yeah, it's still a decent anime.
Yeah,
I never played the game. Oh, sorry, I'll say one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I never played Asura's Wrath. I saw you and Prometheus played for a little bit. I did watch a YouTube video that compiled all the cutscenes for like 5 different. It was like a 6-7 parter, something like that. But it looks really, really. I didn't watch it all, but it looks like a really good anime.
Yeah, it is.
But as far as it looks like a button masher. But go ahead with Tales, whatever else is going to come with.
Oh yeah, so the game itself is actually going to be a little darker driven story.
Ooh.
The first game, it's got a couple of dark elements, but overall it's got a very lighthearted story. But there's like times where just kind of like, whoa, where are you guys going? And all of a sudden you're just a completely different game.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the game just got mad. It's just like, whoa, what's happening? What's just people dying? What's going on here? Yeah. But the game's also going to involve binary choices, somewhat similar. I don't want to say it's like outright Mass Effect style, but it does affect your relationships with other characters, outcomes in cutscenes, and then the actual games.
Does it have like a Paragon and Renegade type choices?
I don't know exactly. I didn't really explain it to that effect, but it seems like that is like you can either be nice or you can be a dick.
I see.
And then, depending how they treat you. It's kind of like if you think like Way of the Samurai, where you just kind of... I'm thinking it's going to be something like that to where it affects the overall... Because, in like Way of the Samurai, there's like 17 different endings.
Yeah, definitely.
Granted, the game's like 3 hours long every time. But still, it's like a small little movie.
It's got like 4 sound effects.
Like, yeah.
The scream when they run away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another weird thing that I kind of noticed... The game took about 2 years for the first Tales of Xillia to come out in America. But when it was released in Japan, it came out last year in America, around the fall, I believe. It was either late summer or early fall. So I'm saying like July, September. I forget. I just remember playing it around November.
I was actually going to ask about that, yeah.
It's a really good game. It's a lot of fun. And I played it for about 2 months, and I still barely... past like quote unquote the first chapter.
Yeah.
And there's like 5 chapters. But the first chapter took me like 20 hours to get through.
I never got past the first chapter of Star Ocean International.
Oh really? I've never played that series.
It's pretty fun. It's frustrating though.
But so the first Tales of Xillia came out like I want to say in 2011. 2010, 2011?
The first Xillia?
The first Xillia.
Yeah, that's what
I think it came out in 2011.
This was good because I guess the first Xillia was released in Japan way earlier than we got it.
Yeah, like 2 years.
Because I was saying it was like
there was a 2-year difference,
like a Matrix 2 and 3 type thing. I was like, why is it coming out so soon after the first Xillia? But it makes sense if it was the first one's already been out for that long.
Yeah, it was out in Japan
too.
Yeah, going on 3 years now.
Okay.
But from when it came out in America, there was a 2-year difference. With Xillia 2, there's only gonna be a 15-month difference.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, because I always thought I always really liked the Tales of Xillia. Symphonia was like my favorite.
Yeah.
But Legendia, there was a couple other ones. Vesperia, I believe.
I think you had Tales of Vesperia.
I didn't really like those ones that much, but they were still fun. I take it for what it is. But, Tales of Zestiria has already been announced to release in Japan early 2015.
Dang.
So by the time that comes out there, we'll barely be having Xillia 2 in August. And so who knows when we're going to get that game.
a year and a half after.
Yeah, well, hopefully there's only like a 6 to 8 month difference, so we'll be getting it like Christmas next year.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
But I don't know. I don't really understand why there's such a really long wait time.
I don't really get that. Well, I'll think about it later. But there's a game that had recently come out. No, it was Blaze Blue, Chrono Phantasma. Mm-hmm. It's like the game was released in Japan, being played in America already because people are going to be people and order it, get imports, port it, whatever.
Yeah, they're going to find ways.
Yeah, then it comes out like 6 months later or however long it took it for it to come out in America, and it's like virtually the same thing. Yeah, like a certain game like that. I don't know. I know there's like region lock issues or stuff like that they have to do, but especially I know they have to change certain things for Chrono Phantasma. I just sometimes I don't understand why it takes so long to come to different countries,
right.
Especially to a country like America, where it's just like I understand there maybe other countries might have stricter positions. Like come on, it's like America and UK, they should be like getting it like instantly. Like I don't know why. I should have the reasons. I wish it didn't take so freaking long to just come overseas.
I can speak for the UK, but in America, we're the biggest country in the world that consumes. Yeah. We're the largest consumer. Mm-hmm. So it's why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's such a great series. Mm-hmm. Quit hogging all the good ones to yourself. Because there's not a whole lot of good RPGs that come out by the year.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the same... I don't really want to say disparity, but... Mm-hmm. It's the same kind of feeling you get with anime movies.
Yeah.
Like in Japan, I'd say there's probably less than 100 that come out every year.
Yeah.
But in America, there's 5 or 6 that come out every year. And 1 or 2 of those might be good, whereas in Japan, it's really a law of averages.
It's true.
So for every 100 that come out in Japan every year, you're going to get 15 to 20 really good ones. Whereas in America... It's going to be either a DreamWorks or more than likely, damn it, what the hell is that studio's name? Pixar movie. Mm-hmm. It's Pixar's going to take the cake.
Yeah.
Down. But
that's what I was about to say because like you said, they have a whole bunch of anime movies or whatever in Japan, and then we get those anime movies. We get a few of them, and the few that are good, those people are already rock stars in Japan.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know their names, but they're already well established. Mm-hmm. I just wish we had. We're not Japan. We don't create as much anime as them, obviously. But I just wish we had as much as they did. I wish we're sharing concurrently.
Yeah.
Because we're otakus at heart. We just freaking love the anime. And as far as the RPGs and stuff, I wish we had more JRPGs because I love them. Because they always have the most content. They always have the hundreds of hours of gameplay.
Oh my god! And even then some.
It's $60. Yeah, I'm gonna get my money's worth.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be 100 hours minimum. Yeah. Whatever. So, Dragon Age Inquisition could be coming out, it is coming out. Dragon Age Inquisition is going to be really, really good. I am looking forward to the next Persona game, Persona 5, because that's going to be awesome, and it's going to have so many hours, it's going to be intuitive, it's going to be unique. JRPGs always have that one feel to it,
Right.
I just don't feel that way about too many American or Western-based RPG companies, they're cool, BioWare's cool, but, I don't really get hype like I do for Japanese stuff because they're just we got this the craziness, the fan service, all this stuff, and just and hundreds of hours of content and awesome stuff
it's
going
it's too much for my brain to comprehend.
Exactly,
it's hey, you get a chance to unlock all the secrets of the universe.
Yeah,
do you want to? But be warned, there's a chance your head might explode. It's I like my head.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I might have to pass.
Yeah, then you get a Western RPG, and it's okay, I'm going to buy a Western RPG for $60, get 60, 70 hours out of it, and they're going to have you pay for something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're going to have you pay for DLC that's going to come out. Whereas Japanese games like Dynasty Warriors games, Koei always does it for any Dynasty Warriors games, they put out map packs like crazy, on PSN, and they're all free. The only thing I've seen them charge for is for costume packs. And they're
in Gundam 3 they had character packs. Not packs. There was 5 individual characters, all of them being from the 00 series, Gundam 00.
Oh, nice.
And I want to get it so bad, but now with the new one on the way, I was I don't know. But the thing is, that the price has never come down. They're $6 a piece.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
I was like, I'm not paying $6 for one character.
Steep.
Like, I might pay $15 for all 5 of them, but I'm not paying $6 a piece. You gotta think, $30 total.
Sure.
That's Undead Nightmare. That's more expensive than Undead Nightmare.
I would justify it if you had just gotten the game and you're a couple months into it, and it was going to be a while until the next one comes out. Like for Street Fighter 4, I just now bought Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition 2012 for the PS3.
Right.
So they have costume packs, as Capcom fashion.
Costume packs on top of costume packs?
They have costume packs on
Packs
top
on packs
of
on
costume
packs.
packs, right?
Yeah.
They also have a complete all-in-one costume pack, but they have 2 of those. Because there's 2 complete costume packs.
Wow.
Yeah. I hate them. They're $15 a pop. And each one individually is like $3. So it's Capcom, they're just trying to screw you.
Yeah.
And even though I would, like, if it was just a straight $15 or like $30 and I just got the game, I'd probably buy that eventually.
Yeah.
But like, I'm in the same boat as you. Like, Ultra Street Fighter 4 is coming out and it's going to come with everything already. So yeah, I might as well just wait. I don't want to spend money on something because I just got the game. Kind of like you, like the new version of the game is coming out. So you might as well just wait instead of spending money on that. But costume packs, like I said, I'm always a sucker for those. And what were we talking about?
Well, we were done with Tales of Xillia, and then we just got
true.
into the whole all-encompassing nature that are JRPG
JRPGs.
games.
JRPGs are great. I'm excited for Persona and the new Tales 2, or Tales of Xillia 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be good, and Zestiria coming out in Japan next year. I'm willing to see how that turns out, because it's like they have like a series of games ready for you to play. It's like they're going to make you wait, like make a year for the second one, and then we get like a year from that, we got a third one on the rise.
Yeah.
I feel like I just want to play it now. Like play all 3 of them in a trilogy right now.
And there's people that do. They go out there and get them, like the Japanese version, get the import.
Oh, that's what we're talking about. Fantastic.
Log into a Japanese account, make a Japanese region account so that they can download it from the Japanese PSN store.
Yeah. I've thought about doing that. I've just been too lazy, and I'm probably not going to take advantage of it very often. I'm not going to go to that whole trouble. I'm trying to concentrate on finishing at least one. I haven't even finished Stick of Truth.
Oh, wow. Oh, you've been playing that?
Nope. I have not. I played until I got... I don't know. Have you ever played it?
No, I haven't.
The very first companion you get is Butters. And then you go and I went to the Mongolian restaurant. Went to the Chinese restaurant, the Wok, whatever it's called. Yeah. And the Mongolians were sitting down. I helped the Asian guy, the restaurant owner. And that's like where I stopped. And I'm going to like Token's like mansion. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like I haven't played much. I haven't even gotten past like the first boss, and not because it's hard or anything. I just haven't gotten back to it. Playing ESO, all that good stuff. But yeah, just too lazy to do anything because I know I'm not going to finish the game.
How's ESO?
Elder Scrolls Online is really okay. So if you play ESO, the first 10 levels will make you kind of question purchasing the game. It's really boring. I can't really put it on your way. If there's anybody that disagrees with me that's listening, they'd probably be like, well, I had a little bit of fun. If you ask yourself right now, did you really have fun? Levels 1 through 10. It's more like you'll enjoy the first few levels because it's new to you. Everything looks good. The graphics are good. Like I showed you a little bit from it.
Yeah, it looked really crisp.
The graphics are really good. Those are medium settings, too.
Wow.
And I put my view distance down because I don't have that much RAM to use. Mm-hmm. But anyways, it looks really good. All the content is there. But until you get to level 10, where you can start going to like Cyrodiil, which is the cap city, and doing like campaigns and stuff, and like by level like 12 or 15, you can start doing dungeons. It's basically like WoW. Until you get to those levels where you can start doing stuff with other players, it's not fun. Right. But for Elder Scrolls Online particularly, it's not too much. The first 10 levels is not too much different from WoW. But when you play it through WoW, it's like it's expected. Like, you're going to go to the 15 levels. You're just grinding to level 20, then you can have fun.
Right. Then you can go to Barons and join the chat.
Exactly. It's the same thing, except it's only level 1 through 10 for Elder Scrolls Online. But when you play an ESO, you're just like you're in the Elder Scrolls universe, which is like kind of like similar to like a Game of Thrones universe with dragons and this whole lore. There's so much lore that it's hard. Like I get mad because I don't have time to read all the lore. I'm like, this is so cool. And you're just in dungeons, and you find a bookshelf in a dungeon, and then there's like all the books that you can like read all the books out there. You're just like, I just take all the books, throw them somewhere, and just come back to them later. But there's a lot of content and stuff, but it's just the first levels 1 through 10. I guess to put it shortly, it's just go and fetch quests. That's all it is. It's really boring. It takes a long time to level. Like going from level 9 to 10, it wasn't that long. Like if you just do quests, you can get there pretty fast. But it just drags like in your mind. You're just like, I'm only doing this to get, past level 10. Like I really did not have a lot of fun. If you're gonna start off, I would definitely play with somebody. At least I would play with somebody throughout the whole thing.
So you can keep each other company.
Yeah, exactly. And join or create or join somebody's guild, because the auction house is run completely through guilds. There's no actual unified auction house. Auction trades and stuff that happen, there's auction guilds. So whatever you get, if we had our Watchman guild in ESO, however many people on that, we trade amongst each other.
Oh, okay.
So we all put stuff up and like, hey, you need this. It's very supportive. It works out really well actually. So ingredients made a guild. We're about like 200 strong, 200 something strong.
Wow.
Everybody's really helpful, and it's the guild and stuff and everything. That's not story related to it is really good.
Yeah,
a lot of content, but grinding and questing from levels 1. Well, it's still even to I'm like level 13. It's still questing right now is really really boring. I haven't had any fun questing. I've had a lot of fun doing campaigns, fighting other people, PvP. You can so basically you can just run into like a PvP land. Cyrodiil, like the whole capital city or capital country, it's all PvP. The whole land of Cyrodiil is PvP. It's all the Skyrim, or not Skyrim. It's all the Elder Scrolls war going on. So you just join a campaign war, and you can quest in that area, to do quests and stuff in that area, or it's PvP basically. So you can go quest in the PvP area, do your stuff, grind out, level up, and you can also fight other people or just join up with somebody. It's like, hey, I'm going to go raid this fort over here. Can you help me real quick? And you be questing and be like, all right, let's go do it. And just run over there, and you start PvPing, because the whole thing is a PvP zone that you can also quest in. And you're in the capital city, and it's beautiful in Cyrodiil.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, it's Cyrodiil. This is the capital city. Nobody's seen it since Oblivion, because that's where Oblivion took place.
Right.
So everybody's just like, man, this is Oblivion. Everything looks good. And I was telling you earlier, a lot of hardcores are saying that for Daggerfall and Morrowind, and I don't know about Morrowind, but for Daggerfall and Cyrodiil, they're saying like in Oblivion and Daggerfall, they actually look like the maps are very accurate. Like for a certain watchtower to be in a certain place, to be like the watchtower is still there.
Oh
wow! If you go to Cyrodiil and that watchtower is like on the map, it's like, hey, at the watchtower, it's literally like you jump into the Oblivion map.
Wow.
So people are saying it's pretty accurate. Very scaled down, obviously, because they need to make it to where you can run across the map. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's really well done. I think the whole thing is well done. Besides, the gameplay needs work and the quests really need to work. I think the quests really only need to work because of the standards set in Skyrim.
Right.
With the ever-changing quests and all that stuff. So I don't think it's ever going to be on that level. But Skyrim's still not in the game. But as far as the overall experience, I definitely, if you're waiting on it, I would wait a little bit more. See if it's more polished. Yeah, I would definitely wait at least a couple months if you're a little bit hesitant on it. But if you have someone to play with, I would definitely just jump on and do it so you won't just mindlessly grind out.
Yeah.
But I say if there's a negative to take away, I can forgive just about everything else. But the only negative I would say about it is levels 1 through 10 are very grind heavy.
Very bland.
I don't even say grind heavy, but bland, yes. They're very bland.
I was going to say, I wouldn't say bland.
No, I wouldn't say grind heavy, because you can literally just go quest to quest. It's not hard. And it's pretty, if you read all the lore, it's really interesting. But all the quests are just go fetch, go fetch, go fetch. And they don't say anything different. They're just like, go do this.
So that was the worst part of WoW for me, because I've created about 5-6 different characters, and every time, starting Sepulture, or I forget what it's called when you're the orcs. But
Barrens? I think they're in Barrens.
Well, no, it's not the Barrens. It's like just north of Orgrimmar. I forget the little area called. But anyway, it's the equivalent to Sepulture. Mm-hmm. And it just, that's all you're doing. Like, you kill 10 things, you collect the egg sacks, or chicken eggs, or wolf pelts, and then you go back to some dude, and then he gives you, 10 cents. Mm-hmm. Go on your way, go find another quest, go help some dude that's getting attacked by 5 dudes that are trying to raid our little small town. And when you do that, then come back and I'll give you 10 more cents.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's true. I will say a couple things about ESO. As far as saying like the first 10 levels are bland, I'm not saying it's bad at all. The worst I've seen of Elder Scrolls has been more fun than WoW. Like it's just being in that world. It's just awesome, you know. Walking around, seeing everything. Even if you've never played an Elder Scrolls game, it's just cool to be in that world, you know.
Yeah.
Like medieval time period with dragons and magic and all that cool stuff, you know. Like you're in a double R Tolkien freaking, or like double R Martin freaking. They both have double R's in their name. That's weird.
They do, yeah.
I just noticed that. But you feel like you're that kind of world, and like I'm an Imperial. I've always played Imperial for Elder Scrolls, and I think it's awesome. Imperial was the one class you had to pay to play, but I pre-ordered it, so I got it for free.
Oh, nice.
And so Imperials, they can change like I don't know if you saw my armor type was like all red, kind of like samurai looking. That's just the Imperial style. And for Imperials, it doesn't work for every armor type. For like 90% of armor types, you can just right-click it and change it to Imperial style to match, so everything will match.
Oh, nice.
Because the Imperials is like the government of Elder Scrolls, of the Elder Scrolls universe. So it's just, I'm having a lot of fun playing as them. I'm in the Daggerfall Covenant, and the world is really cool. Crafting, like all the skills that you can do, is really, really well done. It's kind of like let's like say blacksmithing. Like I think did you do blacksmithing in a while?
Mm-hmm.
Like you go and mine stuff, you come back, get the ingredients, you create it.
Yeah.
It's way more simplified. In Elder Scrolls, you still do the whole thing. You go out, you mine for stuff, you get that. And all you have to do is come back to the blacksmith thing, and they just have the blacksmith stations just like out, you know. Like you don't have to talk to somebody to do anything. You can literally just walk up to the big smelter.
Yeah.
Just smelt your ore into ingots. Walk up to the armor table or the sharpening table.
Yeah.
Go to the armor table, make your armor with certain parts. Just go to the sharpening table, sharpen your swords and stuff, and you're pretty much done.
Oh,
like
cool.
if you have the ingredients to do it, you can just go over there, search it, kind of customize a little bit, and just make it.
Yeah.
It's really simplified, and it works really well. And that's what I felt about WoW. Like for WoW, you had to invest a lot into the skills and stuff.
Yeah, you kind of did.
Yeah, in Skyrim, in ESO, it's very, they make it more welcoming to where no matter how your playstyle is, it's really easy for you to want to have a skill. And it's really useful to have a skill. It's like, hey, are you a blacksmith? Are you an enchanter? And it's not daunting. It's not like, oh, well, I have to like specialize in this and get like a bag to carry my enchanting stuff.
Yeah.
All this stuff. It's like literally, if you want to enchant, it's like, oh yeah, go to that enchanter. You have like a crystal on you. Like yeah, like well, go enchant my weapon real quick. I was like, oh yeah, you just pull up your inventory, right click on your weapon, and then put that socket into your weapon. It's really easy.
That was like the biggest issues I had as a blacksmith in WoW, because like all the really cool enchanting stuff, or not enchanting, all the really cool blacksmithing stuff that you could make or smith, you had to get all these like crazy materials for it, and that wasn't so much the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
But the worst part was like if you didn't want to go out and quest, well, you could buy it in the auction house.
Yeah.
But it'd be some jackass charging like quadruple the price.
Yeah.
Because the markets were so heavily manipulated by players and the inflation rates on a lot of those. Like, I'd hate to say, but it's like real world policies. Like, people that know like anything about the markets and whatever could easily apply those same skills and have the in-game markets for WoW, or the auction house at least, work the same way. You know, so it's one thing to say like, oh yeah, well, you could be a smith and sell 20 pieces of copper, iron bars for 5 gold, and then have another dude try to undersell you because really it's worth like $1.50.
Yeah.
It's like, well, here, for the convenience and because I went and did all the effort, you know, anyone can go make a breakfast taco, but I'm making it for you and I'm charging you $1.25. You know, it's like the same thing with copper. It's like, well, it's worth $1.50, but I did all the work and I'm just going to charge for 20 of these bad boys, so you don't have to do any of the work. Hey, if you got 4 gold, I'll take it off you. And then another dude undercuts you, like, well, I'll sell for 3 gold. You know? And then there's enough people that do it to where it's like, I'm going to put a buttload of them and sell them and have them all for sale for 7 gold. But they're there. There's like 20 of them there, and if somebody is so inclined to buy like 5 sets, you know, then he's going to buy it for 7 gold, even though there's one dude that sells them. He'll probably buy those anyways.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm here and I've got all these. And then you have that one dude, but a bunch of them doing the same thing for like the higher value, like thorium and all that good stuff. And when you need those things and you don't want to spend the time, it's just like, dude, I don't have 60 gold to spend on one set of 20.
That's what really works about because they're basically auction guilds. That's what they're kind of called. But yeah, when you're in a guild, you train a bunch of each other. Literally, this is how a trade went down for me. Like, as Ingredients is the buddy Ingredients. He's the guild master. Everybody's always looking out for him, asking him questions and whatever, telling him whenever they're going to be on. And so he logged off, and I was just going around. And I was like, I really needed a shield. Because I was a tank, and I'm like level 11. I still have my badass level 7 shield that's like hasn't been topped, but it's like a little buckler still. It's like, I need a new one. I'm trying to craft one and have materials, whatever. Yeah. I need a shield. It's like, well, I got a shield, but I'm looking for like I really don't have. The guy was trying to save up money to get like a cool axe because he couldn't craft something like that, but he had an awesome shield. He wasn't a blacksmith or anything, but he had a cool shield.
Right. So
he's just like, well, I'm trying to save up to get this. It's like, we'll give you a little bit of gold. But also, I have this 2-hander, like, mace in my thing. He's like, what is it? And I dropped it on the ground. He looked at it. He's like, cool, man. Then he dropped it. Then we just traded the shield and stuff back and forth. He's like, thanks, man. I was like, even trade. That's how it went.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't really care. Like, some people just like, oh, just give me a couple bucks, Some people literally, because they're part of your guild, so they know that if you're there for a while or whatever, like that you're talking to, like, we're in the same guild, they'll know that it's just not an auction house. It's not informal or anything. It's basically, you're in the guild, like, hey, bro, can you help me out? It's more like that.
Yeah.
Like, does anybody have something like this? It's like, yeah, can you cover the cost of the materials? That's all you have to do. That's what most people do. Is like, I need to buy, like, I'm an enchanter. I have the level. I don't have the materials. I got to go buy them. Can you just cover the crafting materials? And I can make it in a second. Like, sure, I'll buy them for you. Buy them for him. Got it. Done.
Yeah.
That's all it is, because he's part of your guild. He's not just a random person trying to make 100 gold off of one cell.
Right. It's like, I got all these cool items to make this badass bracelet that I badly need.
Exactly.
Could you do this for me?
Yeah, because you can more ask if somebody is an enchanter.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yeah, buy me the materials. Like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'll buy you the materials and you can do it. And that's how it works. And the other reason why it works because the skill trees and stuff. Like, whenever you level up, you get 1 point. And you level up, you get a little bit of experience from killing monsters, but you get most experience from questing. And I know you never played like an Elder Scrolls game, but like the way like your skills and stuff, like 2-handed weapons, the more you use a certain weapon, the more that weapon type increases.
Yeah, I've seen Prometheus play Skyrim, and it's fun. It's actually really fun to watch as well.
Yeah,
we're just sitting there laughing. And
so when you level up, it doesn't level up your 2-handed weapons.
Yeah, the more you use it, then you're like, hey, you just got a little bit better.
Exactly.
And I know WoW implemented that during. Well, it was probably before Cataclysm came out.
Yeah,
but I remember it's like when you're using a sword for the first time, and if you're swinging away at monsters for like the first 10 minutes, your skill level goes from like 1 to like 20 something.
Yeah, it didn't make that big of a.
It didn't feel the same. It's just like, okay, so now I'm just hitting more, but not necessarily doing more damage. And I was still a little iffy on how that all worked for a while, but it didn't seem like it's like. This doesn't really seem... If I have a huge 2-handed axe that does 500 to 1,000 damage, let it do 500 to 1,000 damage, even if I've never used it before.
Yeah.
I'm a freaking warrior. I should already be skilled at doing these kinds of things.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because like Elder Scrolls, like especially like ESO, because I use like mainly 2-handed weapons and stuff. So it's definitely true to a point. Like whatever level you are, it's like. It doesn't really. Well, I guess it doesn't really work like that. Like if you have 2-handed weapons, like level 20, you have like a level 27. Your 2-hander level is level 27.
Yeah.
Your 1-handed level is like level 15. So you get a weapon. That weapon's strength will only increase when you start using the 1-handed weapon. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like that sword will start getting better because you are better with the 1-handed weapons. So your skill with that weapon type will give that weapon like a huge boost. So you'll get like a weapon for like 11 damage, but your level's up. So the higher level you are, the more damage you can do with that weapon. So if I had like a level 27 in 1-handers, I'd just be going to town with this awesome one. So it kind of like
even if it doesn't, even if the sword itself doesn't do a whole lot of damage.
Exactly, they still kind of kept.
You're literally going like Kenpachi on everything.
Yeah, pretty much. They kind of kept like the Elder Scrolls feel, where it's just like, well, you didn't you haven't used a one-handed weapon this whole time. Why would you be good with one?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that kind of thing. It was just like, well, you get this badass one-handed weapon. It's like, well, I don't know anything about one-handed, or like I never use one-handed weapons, but this one looks really cool.
Yeah.
And so now you have like a level 1 one-hander skill, and you're like a level 30 character level. You're just like going to town with this one-handed sword, like it's badass, and then it just starts getting more badass as you get more familiar with one-handed weapons.
Okay, cool. Yeah, from my personal experience, I never got that feeling playing WoW. Because I went for a time. You start out, you have the buckler and the short sword when you're a warrior. And then eventually you upgrade as you go on, and you're like, oh, you know what? Well, I just got the dual-wield skill, so I'm going to dual-wield a two-handed axe and a two-handed sword. Yeah. And I'm going to dual-wield those bad boys. Yeah. But your offhand's always like the worst because it's only meant for shield, so it doesn't do as much damage, and you don't swipe as much, so you always want to put your better weapon in your right hand.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure it's different in ESO with that whole thing, but I just never liked the way it works. It's like, well, what if my dude only two hands for the rest of the game, the entirety that I play? It's like, wouldn't he be ambidextrous and just as good with his... I mean, sure, one would be better than the other, but one, that should be my choice. Yeah. And then two, it's like, why is the offhand always like... well, not increasingly, but like, there's such a huge, like, gap in performance between your right hand, which is meant for killing, and the offhand, which by the game standards is meant only for using a shield.
Yeah, you definitely won't get that in ESO. ESO has different weapon types. Well, first of all, I don't know if you knew this already, but Elder Scrolls doesn't restrict your class. It's like you pick a mage, or you pick your Templar, you pick your basically like your class skills. Like I'm a Templar. Then my first 3 skills are like Templar skills, like Holy, Retribution, or whatever like that.
Okay, yeah.
Those are just 3 things on my character. That doesn't affect my weapons that I picked. Doesn't affect the armor that I picked. Doesn't affect the skills that I choose to pick. Doesn't affect what you want to do.
Right.
If you're a mage and you decide to rock a sword and shield, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's whatever you use and you're familiar with is how it levels you. So if you have a one-handed shield, you're leveling up the one-handed shield, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't care who you are. Doesn't care if you're a mage that does magic. If you want to do it, you can rock it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't like a one-handed shield is not really going to benefit you. You're not going to be very good. Yeah. But if you want to do it, they're not going to restrict you to doing it, which is why I like it.
Oh,
you just experiment with whatever you want. You can be a mage running around with a sword and shield, like, what's this guy doing? And you're just like, da. It's like, oh yeah, my shield blocks every kind of magic damage.
Yeah.
My sword is just like an extension of my freaking,
Yeah, that was the thing with WoW. Is like you pick up a staff or something, and it's like, oh, I can't lift this.
Yeah.
It's like, but you're a warrior. Of course you can lift it. No, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can put it in my backpack.
As a two-headed warrior, I've had so many instances, especially when you're first leveling up, where you're trying to, you're doing mobs by yourself. I would go off on somebody with a two-handed weapon, and I start dying. I would run away, look at my inventory, it's like, okay, I got a staff in my freaking inventory. Equip the staff, go fire! And just put my sword back on. It'd be like, your staff level increased by a minuscule amount. It's like, that's okay, I'm never using it again. Just needed to get myself out in a pinch.
I just needed that sweet fire damage that baby does.
Exactly, and you can pick light, medium, or heavy armor. Well, I was going to mainly say it was a dual wielding. So the weapon stuff, it's two-handed weapons, one-handed shield, dual weapons, staffs, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So dual weapons is literally if you just want to do a dual weapons, dual wield, it'll just complement you on that. You do whatever you want. It's not going to negate your offhand from your right hand. It's not going to... I'm pretty sure it does not... Yeah, it doesn't restrict what goes in your offhand and what goes in your right hand.
Okay.
It's just you got 2 weapons, you can hold both weapons.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how Elder Scrolls always been. I'm just glad that they put that much of it into the online version. They made it work.
Yeah.
So I'm just so glad they didn't restrict. You pick your class. I'm a Templar, so I got Templar abilities. But those are perks. Those are separate than whatever you want to do as far as armor, weapons, or skills.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
See,
cool.
I like that.
They keep it separate. It's like Data's like, oh no, you're a tank. No, you don't have to do heavy armor. It's going to benefit you more.
Yeah, just because it's the way we made it.
Yeah.
But if you want to go around and wear nothing and wear really light armor.
Yeah, if you want to wear mage armor and go
with a dagger,
if you can make it work, we're not going to judge. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah. With the dagger in a fist, and just go to town on people.
You obviously don't know how to play this game, but whatever.
But we've made it so that you could still enjoy yourself
and can reset your skill points whenever you want. No, not whenever. You have to go to somebody and pay a good amount of money.
But does the amount increase?
It increases with your level. I don't think it increases every time that you do it.
Okay, because that's how it was, if I remember correctly, in WoW. The last time I played was during Kata. Well, the last time we had played was during Kata. But it's like, yeah, if you get one freebie, I believe, the first time you do it was you get it for free.
Yeah.
And then the next time it's like X gold.
Yeah.
And then the next, so say it was like 1 gold, and then the next time it's 2 gold, and then it's like exponential.
That's
by
how it is.
2, so it's like 4, and then 8, and then 16, and then 24, and eventually it's like, dude, I'm paying like 200 gold just because I want to, respec.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it is. I would need to confirm or deny to see if it increases depending on how many times you do it or with your level. That's the only thing I'm iffy on. I don't know if it increases with level or how many times or both. Because I haven't done it yet.
Well, I mean, with level it makes sense because you're getting to do missions or whatnot that produce more money. So by then, if you're making 500 gold a mission on average, then to do a respec it might cost a little bit more.
Yeah.
Then okay, I understand that.
You literally don't. Just for I'll play like one more thing. But I know we can talk about ESO, but just one more thing as far as the having to reset the skill points. It's you kind of don't have to do it. It's pretty cool. I'll explain it. It's like when you start from level 1 to 10, there's a lot you can mess up as far as your skill tree for any RPG. You can like make the wrong decision, like I actually didn't need that, and now I just wasted a skill point, and I gotta live with it. Like any RPG.
Right.
So you can do that in ESO too, but like once you get past a certain level, it'll literally it'll only give you 1 skill point per whatever, and you can collect 3 sky shards. There's like sky shards scattered throughout the map. Yeah. You get every time you get 3, you get 1 more skill point. But you can literally by level 15, it'll give you enough skill points to spec in like an additional. It literally gives you like at level 15, it gives you the option for an alternate ability, or not alternate ability, but just to like press tab, like Counter Strike it, like just press Q and switch to your next weapon. It gives you that ability. Cool. So it's like if you wanted to like do half archer or half something, like just commit to one thing until level 15. Like commit to one thing wholly, and the level 15 literally says you got another slot. Here's a skill point. Put it into the next thing that you want to main in. So then you got 2 mains. So it's just like whatever else that you're thinking about. If there's like that stupid idea that you had, like I want to be a 2-hander with freaking dual stabs or something like that. It's like okay. You should probably main dual handing and armor, heavy armor, and all that stuff. And when you get to level 15 and it says pick a second one, like go crazy, pick whatever you want. Just pick a secondary, press tab, he'll switch to those weapons, whatever, and you can use that to level up. Because basically how it works is like you got to level 15 doing your main thing, so that's your backup. Basically, you want to do a new thing. This is the time to spec in that new thing. I really like that they did it like that. You know, it's just like okay, so level 15, you're pretty beefy right now with your main stuff. Pick a new thing and start leveling that up. So it's really, really cool, and you just press tab and just switch seamlessly between them too, and it switches your skill tree with it.
Oh, very nice.
So if you wanted to be completely different, it's like, and you got the skill points, it's very good about giving you enough skill points to do 2 things at once.
Yeah, because WoW was kind of, it wasn't that fluid.
No.
But you had 1 skill tree, and then it went to where like, well, you can respec in 2, but then you can change it. You can macro it.
Yeah, imagine
to where you can change it.
Exactly.
And then it just went to like, well, you can just go ahead and put whatever you want to whatever you want. So it's just kind of like, okay. So I'm a hunter with, if I'm a hunter, then I have like the survival instincts along with like range tactics. Exactly. And it's like, well, okay, I get it, but they're completely different things. So it was just really, it felt wonky.
Imagine instead of dual specking, imagine if all the skills that you got for both trees didn't, like, none of them deactivated. Yeah. They're all still active.
Yeah, that's what it was for WoW towards the end.
Yeah, you just combine to the skill trees, and when you press tab to switch between weapons, it just switches between the skills of those weapons that you want. And
so it just highlights those skills.
Exactly, like you have bow like skills and stuff, because you only have 5. You only have 5 buttons on your action bar, so a little bit limited.
Okay.
But you put like whatever 5 options you want on there for like your 2-hander, right? And then if you have a bow as your secondary, you switch to the bow, and then you put whatever bow skills that you put on your tree.
Oh, very nice.
So none of your skills or abilities or anything else will change. Everything is still active. The only thing that changes is your weapon and your skills for that weapon.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. So if you're ever getting into it, It takes 15 levels to have fun, to start having fun in ESO, depending on who you are.
Yeah.
But for the majority of people, they have said as much. More people have said level 10 takes it off. I'm saying level 15. It's really depending on you, but I recommend ESO. Just final.
Nice.
Yeah. I would wait a little bit because it's still rough. As much as I'm making it sound really, really good, it's definitely got some bugs. It's got rough patches. It's got quests that you can't finish right now.
There was a lot of beta testing because I regret that I didn't, because I was part of the beta invitation thing, so I was actually invited to play, but I never really took advantage of that. Yeah. So I kind of regret it now because I went through all the trouble of signing up and everything. Yeah. Like, oh hey, you've been selected. You're invited to come and do this. I'm like, oh sweet. And like, oh well, my laptop sucks balls, so I don't know if if the game would be, doing any justice on my laptop. So I never really signed up. And then it was always on a Friday night. So at the time, we're always recording or I'm writing something.
I never got to play the beta either.
Yeah.
As many invites as Prometheus sent me, I never got to take advantage of it.
Yeah. I had a couple of people, I believe, well, she goes by April Ethereal, but Rachel, I believe you met her.
Yeah.
I think her and her husband had played a couple of times. And, I never really got their reaction, but they seemed overall to like it, to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it was her. There was somebody else, though, that was a Facebook friend that also played, but I can't remember what he thought about it.
I'll say first-person view all the way.
First-person view?
Yeah. Ingredients, my buddy Jeeves thinks I'm crazy. Because being in first-person in an MMO definitely impedes your visibility.
Right.
Because you can't see a full 360 of people attacking you.
Yeah.
And they give certain, visual cues to when you do when you do an interrupt or a shield bash to cancel their moves. It's hard to see in first person view. I just love being immersed in first person where you're just in the action, swinging your sword. In an MMO, it feels really good.
Well, yeah, I think you also do that same thing in when we used to play racing games all the time. You do the cockpit vision, instead of doing it from third person behind the car. You'd always be, I want to be in the cockpit. I want to feel those turns.
Yeah, it's so gratifying in ESO just because you're if you zoom out, you're looking at yourself in the fray. And you go first person view, you're in the fray. You're you see your weapon and you just swinging and knocking people just Judy, he's how do you see anything in there? It's I don't see much. I see the guy. And,
I see bloodlust.
Yeah, I see an axe coming down.
I see the blood of my enemies. That's all that matters.
I see bodies falling and my axe dropping. That's all I see.
I'm not looking to maximize the number of swings I hit. I'm just trying to kill my enemy. And I want to see the whites in his eyes.
That's about it. I could talk about ESO for a while, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and cut this and put it as a review and put it on Facebook.
For sure, yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
All right, so moving on, next topic. We're
on IGN.
Yeah, I don't think so. Ultimate Ninja Storm Revolution coming to PC. It's not we knew the game was coming out for a couple of months, but I don't think ever before has any game in the series actually been on PC.
Oh, really?
I believe this is a first.
Very cool. Bet it's going to look good.
Yeah, but Bandai Namco was yesterday actually confirmed plans for a PC version of Ultimate Ninja Storm Revolution.
Yeah. I'm really excited. I actually haven't played the last Ultimate Ninja Storm. Is it Generations?
Well, there was Generations, and then after Generations was they brought in the young, the original Naruto series characters.
With Shippuden versions?
Yeah, and along with characters that were long dead, like the Fourth and the Hokages and
Jiraiya.
Jiraiya wasn't dead at that point.
He wasn't dead yet?
Well, no, yeah, he did die during Storm 2, so he was dead in the manga already. But yeah, it was just Generations was just let's just grab every character that exists in the series so far and just mash it all together. Yeah. And the game actually wasn't that great. 3 came out, but to me it felt it wasn't nearly as good as Storm 2, and it was lacking in a lot of different things.
Storm 2 was the last one I played.
Storm 2 was incredible. Yeah. It was just great, and Storm 3 just kind of felt rushed. And although the story sequences are really good, the fights didn't feel as... What is the word I'm looking for? They just weren't memorable. They just weren't as memorable. So in Storm 2, I could tell you like every fight. You know, there was like Itachi and Sasuke fighting each other. Incredible fight.
Good stuff.
Naruto versus Pain. Incredible fight.
Shinra Tensei, spam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then even though I think they butchered the fight overall because they put Naruto as the central character.
Oh, really?
But it was Team Asuma versus Hidan and Kakuzu.
Oh,
and that was an incredible fight, but they didn't put the focus on damn it, what the hell is
Shikamaru?
Shikamaru. Yeah, they didn't put the focus on Shikamaru. They put the focus...
That was my man's shining moment.
Yeah.
To take out Hidan.
So it was like, when you're fighting... Yeah, they didn't do the whole thing with him fight... Well, you did fight Hidan, but it wasn't like the cool sequential thing. And then when you're fighting Kakuzu... Like, all the cool moments from, if you remember from the manga and anime with Kakashi, like, breaking down Kakuzu's moves, were all just like Naruto gets there at the beginning of the fight. Yeah. Instead of at the very end to where he's the one that puts the finishing blow on Kakuzu. Because
this is the first time he uses his wind shuriken, right?
Right, yeah, but he just, in the manga and anime, he just shows up at the end of the fight.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, hey, we're here, and I got a new technique.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's only got 1 or 2 hearts left.
Yeah.
You know,
I got wind shuriken.
Yeah, because Kakuzu had like 4 hearts.
Yeah.
So in the game, instead of putting the focus on Ino, Choji, man, you remember all these names, and I read this like every week. Choji, and Kakashi. You know, they were the 3 that were like taking him on the whole time. Instead, they put Naruto in the whole fight. I was like, really? You took Kakashi's shine?
I would. Yeah, that was definitely a fault. If it's was that in Generations or 3?
It was in 3.
It was in 3. Yeah.
No, it was in 2. I'm sorry.
Oh, it was in 2.
And as good as it was, that was like one of the few gripes I actually had with that game.
I could see that they want to like put more focus on the central character, but like what makes that fight so good is like it's probably one of the main things I love about Naruto is that the emphasis on teamwork is always there, and the fact that they don't rely too much on Naruto. You know, they don't rely on Naruto.
Yeah.
They all want to be better than Naruto.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's always motivated.
Yeah.
You know, with the fiction, with exception for a few, but everybody's motivated to be better than the next, and like that's one of the fights because I love Hidan. I love his freaking scythe.
Yeah.
And I love you're a bigger fan of Kakuzu than me.
Yeah.
I really get him too much because he had like the puppet with the hearts and stuff.
It wasn't a puppet. He had like this weird his whole body was made up of black strings. I never really explained him, but basically he'd replaced the inside of his body with like black string. Yeah. And I can't really explain it, but he was pretty much like for all intents and purposes, lack of a better term, a tentacle monster.
Yeah. I really like that.
I hate to admit it, but that's what he was. But he was really damn cool. And
Kakuzu's definitely cool. And I really love that fight because Shikamaru is my favorite character. And just to see him just outsmart Hidan.
Yeah.
And it's just like, Shikamaru is so smart. Yeah. And you just see that with the shadow powers, just like, it's so cool. He like leads him into the forest, and Hidan just has to follow him. He's like, "Where the frick are you taking me?
Yeah.
You're gonna die as soon as we get wherever we're going."
See, that move was so cool that they just made that Shikamaru's like ultimate.
Yeah.
So whenever you kill anybody, that's what it is. Yeah, the little shadows and the rope tags, the explosive tags wrapping you up, and then him tossing the lighter.
Yeah.
And then boom, and that's the special.
So sick. Yeah, that's why I love that.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty big part to take the focus off of the team.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. It's Naruto should have been out of that until the end. Until they should have just made it like the manga.
Yeah.
Come in and finish the job with the wind shuriken.
So I'm guessing because this isn't called Storm 4 and it's called Storm Revolution, that it's going to be similar to Generations, to where it's just going to be like an all-encompassing character. And granted, Storm 3 did have like younger cast members and stuff, but it still had a lot. Like this is like when the zombie army comes into the into play.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of characters that were dead actually returning. So it made sense in that sense. But then they even threw in like the young versions of the Konoha 12.
Konoha 12.
Yeah, so you have like little Naruto, little Sasuke, little Sakura, little Rock.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, but I don't know, man. Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 wasn't didn't live up to my expectations. Like, I platinumed out on Storm 2. Mm-hmm. That's how much I love that game.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember you did.
Storm 3, it was like, I kind of had the same feeling, but as I was progressing through the story, I was like, it just doesn't feel the same. Mm-hmm. It's just not the same. Like, you couldn't explore as much, and the maps, like, where you could go exploring, just kind of felt more half-assed than the previous ones were. Yeah. So there was a lot lacking overall.
Yeah. They never really spared on graphics, though. Graphics are really
the graphics are always incredible. I always give my hands to CyberConnect 2, man. Props to those guys, because they know what they're doing. The gameplay is incredible. It's always fun, but this time around, like, the story just maybe it was just time constraints and whatnot, but I just felt it could have been a whole lot better.
No, yeah, even if it was, even any of that, I mean, you can always tell. Feel like a game, whenever you play compared to especially when you play through the series like you have.
Yeah.
You kind of know what kind of direction it's going after you play a little bit of it.
And I just didn't like how they took, like, certain liberties. Like, the whole thing, like, the Shikamaru versus Hidan and Kakuzu fight. The revenge thing. That was my favorite part. Mm-hmm. That's still my favorite, second favorite scene throughout the entire series. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. It's incredible. But for the game, they put Naruto as a central character. It's like, why? That scene works so well without him because he's not the central character.
It works so well because he's
I mean, he comes in at the end and that's fine. Let's do that end part. Yeah, we could that could have stayed the same, but let Kakashi do the fight. And it's like I just didn't understand why they felt they needed Naruto for that whole beginning part.
Yeah, it's the Goku complex. Yeah, can't do anything without Goku.
Yeah,
there.
Exactly. And to me, it just kind of felt like you kind of take away the team building aspect of it all. Yeah. Like Kakashi was doing all the legwork, and it's like, okay, so something happens where Kakashi's like half beaten, and then Naruto comes in, and basically it's the whole beginning of the fight, of the actual fight, the way it happened in the anime, and Naruto just kind of like blowing through it like no big deal. Whereas Kakashi was like, hey, I'm having trouble with this guy, but I have to think on my toes, and I got to be smart about this, and I'm reserving my chakra, and there's so many other things going through his mind, and it's just like, that's what made it so incredible, because there's so much going on. Yeah. And then they just, like, take him out of the equation and just be like, oh, look, he almost died. And there were all those cool instances where he had to think on his toes. We're just going to throw Naruto in there and just have him be completely out of character. Yeah. And not even expand on what's going on. Yeah. We're just going to throw all those cool scenes from the anime, paste Naruto into it, and have it happen to him. Yeah. So that part really annoyed me in Storm 2. But in Storm 3, it's like you still have some of the really good fight scenes. But, okay, one of the coolest fight scenes from the series... Mm-hmm. And I stopped following the anime after a while, so I've just been reading the manga. But it's the final fight between Guy Sensei and Kisame. They didn't do a sequential mode for that one. What? It was just a plain old fight.
Really?
Like a match. Yeah.
Wow.
So you didn't get like the cool... No. With Kisame trying to escape, and then the huge fight where you see the huge water shark bullet versus Afternoon Tiger technique.
And Kasame's like, no matter what I do, you seem to always have an ace up your
sleeve. You didn't get any, what is it, QTE? Yeah. You didn't get any QTE for any of that. No quick time event, no like dramatic battle, nothing. It was just like, they call it dramatic battle just because it's an important battle, but at the same time, it's just like, all it is just a plain old... It was just a plain old fight. Like, you fight him and he fights you, and you win. If you meet the bonus, you get the points, and then that's it. That was like, really? There's no dramatic battle.
It's like missed opportunity.
Yeah, it was a huge... But there was a lot of great fights that happened during that time, and when they came to the game, I was so excited to see those come to fruition. Yeah. And a lot of them didn't happen. Yeah, and I was like, man, this
They showed the part right before that where, like, Naruto came out as, like, the Nine-Tail form, and he, like, goes after Kasami or something and, like, breaks his ankle as soon as he comes out.
Yeah, when he hits, like, the Sage mode Nine-Tails for the first time. Yeah. Yeah, they kind of glossed over a lot of that as well.
I just like that part. Like, it's the first time he comes out of Sage mode, he, like, goes on the ground and, like, breaks his ankle.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was just really...
Yeah, cheesy. Missed opportunity for guy. That's like one of the coolest fights.
Well, because in the manga, they really turn it up they turn up the series as far as like all the great fights go.
Yeah.
And in the game, they just glossed over a lot of them. And they're like, yeah, let's just be selective. And so they picked like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
When in reality, throughout at least what was expanded on in the game, there was probably more like 12 or 13 fights that should have all had really badass QTEs and dramatic sequences. It's like, and I wish they would have taken more time to do it. I understand time constraints were the cause of a lot of this, but the game suffered greatly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I want to see all like the cool lines and stuff because like you, I've only actually watched the show for a little bit of the original Naruto series before Shippuden, like up to like the Zabus. I didn't watch much of it at all, and then for Shippuden, I only watched like the fight scenes. Like the manga is just, it's caught up. Obviously, it's in real time and it's good to go. So I've mainly read the manga, and when I see some fight scenes and like I see like in certain, because for the show, you can tell at some points where they're trying to save money for the animations and some fight scenes don't look as cool as they do in the manga even.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, that's disappointing. And but I always watch the Kasami and the guy one, like third fight, and just that line that Kasami says, like after he pulls out the afternoon tiger, and Kasami's just like mind fucked. He's just like, no matter what I do, you always seem to have an ace up your sleeve.
Yeah,
it's just like the most respect between these guys.
Yeah.
And then guy says his name. He's like, his name was Kasami, whatever. I forget his name, but
he was like, I will never forget your name. Throughout the whole series, he always forgets who he was. And then right at that part, it was like, you are a worthy opponent. I will never forget your name.
Yeah.
Kasami Hiragashi or something
something like that. That's just so cool. It's like at that point, I never really respected Kasami until you find out what kind of person he was and who he is. And they're just like, they gave him a backstory again, like they're doing everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, but I really liked him.
But it endeared him to a degree. It's like, okay, he's still a cold-hearted killer.
It did.
But he's a damn loyal one.
It did. See, he was cooler because this was after the whole Kabuto thing where they made Kabuto like, oh, you have the backstory, he was a beaten child. I still don't care about Kabuto.
Yeah.
I never did.
Yeah.
He didn't bring anything to the table. He brings stuff to the table for Orochimaru. I love Orochimaru.
Yeah.
Kabuto, even with his backstory and the sob story, like, I don't really care about him. I still don't care about him. Like, oh wow, like Naruto has it worse than you. Sorry.
Yeah.
But you see Kasami, and he just has such a cool backstory, being like an agent or whatever, whatever they call the Anbu. Was he Anbu?
Yeah, he was like they're the water villages.
The water villages. But
he was also a double agent.
Yeah, exactly. He reminded me of like a Revolver Ocelot type, where he's like double agent. He's like, I'm on this side, but I'm on this side, but I'm on this side. Like. I really liked his character for that. He's very loyal, like you said, good fighter, and you're just like, damn.
Like if anybody could be regarded as like a true ninja, it was him.
I know. It's just like him out of nowhere.
It's like layers upon layers, donkey.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I didn't feel the same way about Kabuto like this. Like they just gave him a story. I felt Kasami just like, that's a good story.
Yeah,
like,
Kasami. Really, really good. Yeah, and as simple as it was like actually pretty.
Because you start thinking about all the stuff he did with Itachi and his whole story with Itachi, and you're just like, man, I've been seeing this guy from the very beginning, and he's like this. With Kabuto, you've been seeing Kabuto from the beginning, but Kabuto is still forever Orochimaru's sidekick.
Well, not only that, but he's like the he's the sidekick that doesn't get any appreciation. It's like he's so loyal,
I'm not going to,
but he never gets like the thanks that he's always like looking for.
He gets the what's his name?
He gets Dick.
No, he's just the
as Frank Reynolds says. Because he's a liar and a thief.
He's a liar and a thief. He's like, I don't know. I feel like Orochimaru and Kabuto are like the Naruto and Sasuke. It's like Naruto works hard, or Orochimaru works hard, does all the research.
Yeah.
Kabuto works hard too, but I feel like he's just like, I just want more power.
Was he just like he lived his life? He just wanted to be an Orochimaru clone. Yeah. That's all it was.
True. He got to be.
It's true.
Went up against the brothers.
Yeah.
But but and as far as the game goes, Revolution, they said in order to, I guess they're trying to get more hardcore with the.
I didn't pull that one. We'll get to that one in a second. I just want to finish what they had here.
Oh yeah.
The game's going to have over 100 characters. Ooh. Now, Ultimate 3, I think, just had a little over 80. So I'm sure there's plenty more characters to go. And the number of characters also plays into the 3 different Narutos and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Like each Naruto counts as a different character.
Oh, okay.
So there might be like the the Kid Naruto, regular Naruto, Stage Mode Naruto, Nine-Tailed Fox Naruto. That's like 5 different characters, 4 or 5 different characters, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Along with the different Sasuke. So it's kind of a cop-out number, but at the same time it's like, well, there are a bunch of different versions. But then
they're not just alternate costumes, you know?
Right, but then at the same time, like, you can see the disparity, like, as far as the writing goes. It's like, God, so many, like, the main characters went through, like, 6 different transformations, and, like, Rock Lee has got maybe, like, 2. And that's including, like, the kid version. Oh, my God. You know?
Yeah.
So, in that sense, it's just, like, ridiculous. But there's also going to be an exclusive character, brand new one designed by Kishimoto, Mecha Naruto.
Mecha Naruto?
Mecha Naruto.
To be like Mecha Akuma?
Like Mecha
Cyber
Godzilla.
Akuma?
Yeah, Cyber Akuma. He's going to have wings when he teleports and stuff.
Oh, so godlike.
That's going to be pretty badass. But a Revolution also has adds combined ultimate jutsu attacks and a Ninja World tournament, where one player must go against 3 opponents simultaneously.
Dang.
So that sounds pretty cool,
That's
actually.
crazy.
Let me see
That's
here.
pretty sick, actually.
Yeah, and so I guess this year's game is going to be doing what the anime has done for a long time. They're going to be jumping into side stories.
What's the tournament that they were in? Their graduating tournament, whatever, when they were kids?
The Chunin exam.
The Chunin exams. I want to do that.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah.
The story campaign is going to feature new animation and new chapters centering around Mecha Naruto, the 2 Uchiha, which probably refers to Sasuke and Itachi, and the origin of the Katsuki clan. That's actually be pretty interesting. Pre-ordering the game will secure the Day 1 release, which includes an exclusive set of costumes, Sasuke's outfit for Naruto, and Naruto's outfits for Sasuke, which you can see the picture right here. So it's just exactly what it sounds like. Sasuke and Naruto's outfit.
Was the Danzo eyeball DLC?
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and highlight what the whole fighting game thing.
Oh yeah, it looks like a guy who made Ninja Storm is saying in order to, he's basically wanted to create the battle system for more of a core fighting game audience. He says he wants to do it without making the execution or button commands any more like complicated.
Yeah.
So he wants to keep it the same because he's pretty confident that it worked pretty well so
no
far.
FADC or anything.
Yeah, no, like I don't know anything about like super cancels or tag outs or something like that. But do TAC infinites? but
they'll never hit the ground.
It makes sense. It makes more sense in the Naruto universe than it does in Marvel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. He didn't say exactly how he's trying to do it, but he does want to kind of make it more for a core fighting game audience. Yeah. And he says in order to create such a new battle system, we ask for support from other development company staff who are fighting game experts like Street Fighter or King of Fighters. So if you go to people from Capcom or SNK, I mean, those are the 2 OG companies right there.
Yeah.
That can help him out. So that's cool. Like again, he doesn't give much information about what he's doing with them. He did mention he has hopes to hopefully, because basically along that line, he's trying to make it more for core fighting game players. And on that same aspect, he has hopes that this game will show up at EVO. He mentioned EVO if he wants this game to be there. So that's really, really cool. Like I'm excited about that. Like if Naruto,
that's exciting, but I mean, we'll go ahead and finish.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll finish real quick. And he said, LOL, we can, since it's Bandai, we can get Harada-san from Tekken to promote. And he said he wants to, he has hopes for EVO. And as far as the new fighting game system for core audiences, like you said, he doesn't want to alienate the casual fan base, the people who just like Naruto. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to, alienate them from being, unable to play the game or finish the game because it's way too hard. He doesn't want to alienate. He wants to make a core fighting experience without alienating casual gamers. And he has hopes for it to be at EVO, so he doesn't give much more information besides that. It's just that's the direction he wants to go.
Yeah,
and,
sounds a little more pipe dreamish.
You think so?
Well, in a sense, yeah. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, that all sounds good on paper, but okay. How hard was it? This is not because we have personal experience, but we can only imagine how hard it actually is just to balance Street Fighter, just to balance King of Fighters. Yeah. and those have casts of less than 40 people.
Yeah.
You know?
This is definitely true.
Just to balance, even balancing, and it's not even balanced, but just to balance Marvel. How hard it is to balance those games. There's so much you have to think about. Like matchups, not only with like Virgil against every other character, but then every other character, how they match up against Virgil.
Exactly.
And then you got to do that with every single character in the same instance. So like you take Virgil out and then you put Chris Redfield. How does he match up against every other character? And now how does every other character match up with him? And then you got to think of all these other things like your assists and all this other good stuff. And the only reason why I bring up Marvel is because it, aside from not being able to bring in your assists as your main, like on a whim, just holding down a button, it plays very much like Marvel, to where you can use a timed assist. You have 2 assists, and they're timed within a certain limit. So you use one, and then you got to wait a couple of seconds until it refreshes, and then you can use either one you want.
Yeah.
And this game's going to have over 100 characters, and you're going to have to balance each and every single one, keeping in mind that if you bring in like the young versions of characters, they're going to be horrendously outmatched by someone like, say, like little Naruto versus older Naruto.
Yeah.
Terrible matchup. Little Naruto versus Madara. Horrible matchup. Doesn't matter which version of Madara it is. And it's like these dudes were legend. Like, you're not going to be able to create a good balance when you're going to have like 5th tier characters.
Exactly. Yeah. It's hard to do. And like just a quick example for like Marvel standpoints, like it's hard to balance every character, do like every matchup, like because if you see like 2 characters, like let's say Dante and Doom. Doom is all around. He's the top 5, right?
Right.
He's a better character than Dante. Doom should lose every time to Dante.
Right.
Doom's got nothing for Dante.
Yeah.
Dante's got the vertical, the pillars, like a jam session. Doom will never get it on Dante. Doom is universally a better character than Dante.
Yeah.
So that's just a bad matchup.
Yeah.
That's something that you really can't balance,
Yeah.
Like, unless you just change on it completely, but that's only for Doom. And then, Dante could do like, okay, Dante's better than, whatever, it goes on forever. Like Sentinel. Sentinel's like a bad matchup for like anybody.
For anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Sentinel's just bad.
For anyone that's not below him.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. For anybody, if you're not Shinko or Ghost Rider or Iron Fist, even anybody can.
No, even Iron Fist can get in on Sentinel.
Even Iron Fist can get in on Sentinel.
As long as they're on the ground.
As long as you're on the ground, even then, so you can get Sentinel on the ground pretty easily.
Yeah.
Thing is, Sentinel is when you get used to him, he does a lot of damage,
Yeah.
Like when Sentinel gets in on you,
8 hits and it's practically over.
Exactly. When Sentinel gets in on you, like I always call you, it's like the Grim Reaper. He just comes in to kill the character and just pieces out, puts Cat back in. Just later mission accomplished. Whatever he says whenever he tags out.
Yeah.
Or continuing mission, something like that. But it's just the bad matches. When go from like Street Fighter to Marvel, there's been so many tier lists, for every game. For Street Fighter and Marvel, the Marvel tier list I feel very when they do it character based, it's kind of like doesn't mean much because like Naruto, like I think Marvel is the best comparison for Naruto because the tier list would be more team composition based. It's like Naruto with a Sakura and Sasuke assist, not just because they're on the same team, but because they're properties or whatever. Like they're going to be the best matchup for Naruto, or like Chiba and whatever best matchup for Sakamaru.
Yeah,
something like that. It's like because they have assist. You can't be like Street Fighter where like Hakan's the worst character in the game, Akuma's the best character in the game, but Hakan takes Akuma.
Yeah,
like, those are just like certain matchup things that you're like, okay, that's a 5 out of 5 matchup or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of hard to look at it that way because if you have 100 characters, you can't tier it like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
You kind of gotta like take it with a grain of salt and be like, okay, well, get to make the tier list as far as team composition. What are they best suited at? Like Doom, he's like Doom in Marvel is like the best assist character in the game.
Yeah.
And not very good point character.
Yeah, or a solo character.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can put him at the end, but you're probably better served having him as your middle.
Yeah, as your middle. Like you don't see.
You don't want him as your anchor.
Yeah.
But if you're really good with him, you can probably suffice.
Yeah. You don't see Doom go in and play the footsie game.
Yeah.
You see Doom go in unless you're like Clockwork or Marlon Pie.
Yeah.
But you don't see Doom go in like he doesn't go toe to toe with Dante. He doesn't go toe-to-toe with anybody, except for, like, Dormammu, you know?
Or himself.
Yeah, or himself, you know? But he stays away. He's a support character. So if you go, like, Dante versus Doom, I'll just use that. You know, it's a good example. Like, Dante versus Doom, like, there's no world where Doom should ever take Dante. Dante has too many tools, too many anti-airs for Doom to ever get in.
Yeah.
So would you put Doom lower? No, you can't, because Doom is way better of a person to have on your team. Well, he's not way better than Dante, but as far as a support character, he's better. He has better assists and stuff like that. So they're better.
He meshes
support.
well with so many different teams.
Exactly.
Like, you can put him as anything. He's got different assists for different things that help work with any kind of team you want. Like, Doom's going to make a good fit.
Exactly.
And you don't really have to try that hard. Like, that's how good Doom is. And not only that, but his normals are incredibly effective, and so are his combos are, like, once you get in a couple of hours, like that one little B&B that I learned, it took me a few hours.
Yeah.
But it's just because I wasn't used to doing, like, high-level combos like that.
Yeah.
But once you actually get inclined to doing those kinds of things, it's actually like, wow, this dude's pretty easy, especially compared to someone like Dante.
Yeah.
Where, like, bulk cancels. I'm never going to try to do those.
Yeah, but you look at it from, well, I guess Dante's kind of Dante's more of a support character now. But Dante's a very good point character as well.
He is a very good point character because he's got a lot of really great setups, and he's got great setups for
Dante.
Doom, like Doom.
Dante, I think, is if he's not the best setup character in the game, like, it's got to be close to, like, Viper or somebody else. But Dante is definitely top tier setups, you know. It's like he has so many moves that you can't predict. Anyways, let's see. Dante's also support. He's being more and more support character now because of Jam Session.
Yeah.
And but let's say Doom against Wesker. Wesker is all you know. You rush him down, you take him out. He's got the footsies, he's got the wall bounces, he's got the command grabs. Doom doesn't have any of that.
No.
Doom will zone him out, and Wesker will go in. So is Wesker a better character than Doom? It's like, well, put him on a team. What does Wesker do for his team? What does Doom do for his team?
Right.
Wesker has got an OTG gunshot. That's all he's got.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the best OTG gunshot in the game.
Yeah.
Doom has 3 great assists.
Yeah.
He's got rocks, he's got plasma beam, and he's got missiles. You know.
Yeah.
He's like, well, he's better support. He's better all around. He can handle himself. You know, if you can TAC into him, that he can kill off of a touch.
Yeah.
You know, so all around, Wesker can't do that. You know, Wesker will take Doom on a 1-on-1, but Wesker's got, you know, Wesker's not a better character, so definitely you put Doom on there. I think that's how you would treat Naruto. Just like, well, what do certain characters bring to the team, support them most, and I think that's how the tier list would be made.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And see, that's the other problem with Naruto. Is like, well, if you put an assist, are they going to be like, can you tag them in, or just going to function as assists? Because it would be awesome if you could have like a 3-on-3 instead of just one with, you know, 1-on-1, each person having 2 assists. It's like, yeah, well, the way Marvel shows is like this game could be a lot more fun. Like, a lot more fun.
Especially for like Skullgirls, where you like the make your own assist thing. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you just like set like a certain move that they have to your assist.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
If they did something like that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, but we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited for a Naruto game regardless.
Yeah. I will, just in like a closing statement, I don't think it'll ever be Evo worthy. Just because anime games are treated kind of biasly. Or not biased.
How so?
Well, I mean, they don't really get a whole lot of love, especially in venues like Evo,
Yeah.
and even at other fighting game tournaments. It's like, well, they're always put like early in the morning when no one's there, no one's watching. That's when you get Blaze Blue and all those other games. Persona and stuff. Like, Persona is a really great game. Even King of Fighters.
I love Persona.
And King of Fighters, just because the animation style is treated like an anime game.
Yeah.
But it's a really incredible game.
Yeah.
It just doesn't get enough love. It's incredibly balanced, super fun.
King of Fighters is great. Like, the only, like... Okay, so, as far as King of Fighters, I'll just say, like, one quick thing. Like, it's definitely more balanced. It's I think, as far as the overall game... If more people played King of Fighters, it sounds a little shallow of me, but like if more people played King of Fighters like competitively, I would play more King of Fighters.
Yeah.
But the only thing bad I've seen, well, I haven't even seen anything bad about King of Fighters. It's just that I've seen a lot of Anchor Kims and a lot of second Takumas or Mr. Karate.
Yeah,
that's about
Mr.
it.
Karate.
That just seems about like they found good anchors or whatever, and I don't see anybody like really unbalanced. I don't see them saying anybody's God in that game. Like anybody, I've seen my comeback, and people have been like shocked, like, oh dang, like Claim Blue River is playing. He had like apparently he brought out a Mai against Reynolds, And
Reynold?
Reynold. Apparently, King Blue River brought out a Mai against Reynold and beat all 3 of his characters. King Blue River didn't win, but still, it's like you can
see that comeback.
Just see any character, and like, and I was like, oh dang, I come back with Mai. Like, I don't see this. Like, Kim is the anchor to end all anchors.
Yeah,
and all this stuff. But I don't ever hear them like when you go to Marvel. Like, it's just so like whatever character is on the screen, there's just like Virgil comes on the screen, just like, well,
everyone just kind of
like when Anchor Virgil comes on the screen against 3 characters, and you think, okay, Anchor Virgil's gonna win. It's just like come on, you know.
It's not a bad assumption, but at the same time, it's just kind of like it sucks that assumption even exists.
Yeah,
you know,
mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh well, Virgil's really good. Let's see if he can pull off. He's got the tools to pull it off. But it's no. Anyone can get to kill if Virgil's their only character.
Yeah,
as long as they know what they're doing, they can kill every character.
Yeah, as long as you go double trigger, X Factor, Rapid Slash.
X Factor level 3, Rapid Slash, all the teleports.
He makes his own ambiguous cross-ups by himself.
Yeah.
I would say there needs to be more love for the anime games. Like Spooky said, as much as you like Marvel, you say you hate anime. Marvel's an anime game because it has the air dashes and the air blocking.
Yeah.
It's like all anime fighters.
Yeah.
So you can't say Marvel's not anime.
It really is. Now, I remember seeing a thing on the stream where Yipes was telling F-Champ that, and F-Champ was like, no, I don't play anime games.
I think those will be...
Yeah, and Yipes was like, yeah, no, I was talking to Spooky. He said it's an anime game. It plays just like anime. It's an anime game. He was like, no, that's not true. I don't play anime. It was just like, he didn't say that exactly.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like, I don't really care for F-Champ, his personality. I'm sure he's a cool person. I think a lot of what he does is more like personality.
Yeah.
Like, heel, like wrestling style.
Yeah.
It's just a gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, that's what I want to believe. I don't think anyone's
that's all I've heard.
I don't think anyone really chooses to be that horrible of a person.
Yeah.
But it was just like funny seeing like the way he was, because like you can see like, one, he didn't believe it, but 2, because he seemed like he was in denial, like, I don't play anime. Like, he was so mad, like, no, I don't play anime. I don't believe that. No, that's not true. And he's like, no, yeah, it's anime. It's official. Yeah. He's like, no, I don't play anime. It's like, that's not true.
I always love that.
You know, it's like that wrestling is still real to me guy.
Yeah, wrestling's
still real to me, damn it.
No, you've been playing this whole time. No, I don't play anime. Marvel's got air dashes, air blockers, air throws, like, all this stuff is anime. Sorry.
So you didn't realize it. You didn't want to believe.
Yeah, that freeform movement, yeah, it's anime. Yeah, I think I remember what you're talking about. But yeah, because Spooky had said something about Apology Man, because Apology Man is Persona player and a Blaze Blue player.
Marlon Pie.
Yeah, Marlon Pie, Guilty Gear player, yeah. And he's just like, a lot of anime players come to Marvel because, it's similar, same thing. You know? You got a lot of the same stuff. Yeah, all the same tools. Air dash cross-ups. But yeah, I could see that it's kind of a pipe dream. I mean, to try to not alienate the casual fan base while trying to make it more hardcore for fighters and to get it to EVO, it's kind of
not going to happen.
Like a perfect situation if that ever happens.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, if it happens, it's great. But you're going to need a lot more months ahead for development and a lot more time and input, and probably even like doing some on-site testing or arcade testing across the country to see like what people think of, not only what casual people think of this game, but people in arcades, what they think of this game. And then you're going to have to do a lot of like balance updates before you even release this game and while releasing it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be like a niche genre of fighting game. Just the style of it.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I love it,
Yeah.
But as far as in the fighting game community, I mean, it's not 2D, it's not exactly, it's 3D, but just that style of...
It's 3D with like 2D cell shading.
Yeah, exactly. It's just...
kind of like what they did for the DBZ Tenkaichi series, where it's like they gave it that 2D feel, but it's because of the cell shading, but it's ultimately 3D.
Yeah, and if they're gonna try to make it for more hardcore audiences, I don't know how they're like you basically just said it. Like I don't know how they're gonna balance 100 characters and have them all be playable. They'll have to ban like half of those characters in tournaments or something like that.
Yeah, because there's some that are just like way too overpowered.
Yeah.
If it was like a roster of like 20 to 30 characters, It's possible.
If I'm playing like a broken Minato,
but some of those characters
teleporting
are just
everywhere.
some of those characters are just jokes.
Yeah.
Anyway, like you can't have the young characters with the older characters. You're gonna have to take those out.
Yeah, it's like limited to like Shippuden and even that. And, it'd be kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's simply because the series itself, like every character advances.
Yeah.
Every few chapters. So, anyways, moving on. Titanfall beats infamous Second Son in the March NPD sales list, but PS4 is still in the lead.
Dang.
The only reason why I wanted to point this out is because Titanfall beats Second Son by a nice little margin, but it's because of combined sales for the Xbox One and PC, comparing Second Son only being released on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had split them apart, of course, Second Son would actually be the number one selling game in America right now.
Yeah.
But because the way MPD does their numbers, like South Park Stick of Truth, if you click the link,
Mm-hmm.
it's come on all these different, like 4 different platforms,
Yeah.
and it's still at like number 5.
I think it's number 3.
Number 3?
Yeah.
No, it's because number 3 is Ghosts.
Oh,
Call of
okay.
Duty Ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote it. Oh, okay, no, it is number 4. It's number 4.
Okay.
Dark Souls 2 and Ground Zeroes, which were recently released games, are 5th and 6th respectively.
Okay.
And I just pointed that out because I was like, man, these games are virtually new. They've only been out for, a month or so.
Yeah.
And they're still getting beat by Second Son, getting beat by Titanfall. It's like,
Yeah.
these were like highly anticipated games.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't, to me, in my opinion, they don't seem to be doing that well. Although they are placing high, I think it's only because, one, because that they're next-gen games, and there's not a whole lot out there to choose from. It's like, well, these people are just going to pick these games up. But even from what I heard of Ground Zeroes, it's a little bit lackluster. Dark Souls 2, I haven't really heard.
I heard Dark Souls 2 was an easier, more frustrating version of Dark Souls 1.
How is that even possible?
Because they said it's basically like the gameplay seems a little. I don't know. I've just from what I see, it's like a little bit easier. It starts off a lot easier, and a lot of people are playing it saying that the enemies like it's Dark Souls 1 like frustrating because you can't beat it because it's hard.
Right.
And I heard like the difficulty isn't the same. The difficulty is more like annoying, frustrating rather than hard, frustrating.
Huh.
Like more like time wasting. Have to do like one hit every like 10 seconds in order to whittle down like a huge health bar and only be able to get like one hit off every like 20 seconds.
Wow.
So it's just like a time waster more than like it being hard. Like it's hard because it's like you can't do much,
Right.
It's because it's a huge monster that has a lot of life and it just keeps constantly doing things, so you get down the pattern within like the first 10 minutes and then you have to do that for the next 2 hours to beat that one monster.
Yeah.
So
I've seen like Kraken playing that, and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can get why this game is like fun for a lot of people, but I can also understand why it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because it looks like fun, but like when you see these people dying and they like are taking it hard, dude, I just spent an hour playing this game just to fucking die.
I watched the bum play it, the House of Crack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was apparently he was playing like at 3 a.m, and he beat one boss, like one of the first bosses, like the last ancient, I think it's called, like the big freaking thing.
Okay.
It took him like 6 tries and like 2.5 hours to beat, and he beat it. And there's a skeleton that he skipped in a room like 40 minutes ago. And so when you go into the boss room, the door closes. When you beat the boss, the door opens back up. So that skeleton was just waiting for him to beat that boss. And then he beat the boss after like 30 minutes of fighting, 40 minutes of that fight. And then that door opens up. He's like, yeah, I did it. And then you look at his screen, he walks away from the thing. He's like, yeah, I'm so good. And then like the skeleton literally just walks on the screen, stabs him in the back, dead. He has to do the whole boss fight over again.
Oh my god.
I laughed so hard. And then like, because he didn't know what happened. He's like, he thought like a new like enemy came from like the where he has to go.
Yeah.
But it was a random skeleton that he skipped. He killed that skeleton every single time he went to the boss fight.
Yeah.
The last time he was so frustrated, he's just like, I'm just going for it. He skipped him, like, no, fuck you. And you remember that, and then he just like 40 minutes killed the boss, and then the door opens up, and the skeleton's just like, yeah. Just goes up, kills them. And so when he has to do it again,
Yeah.
he comes by, he sees that skeleton on his way over there. He's like, oh, motherfucker, it was you that killed me. I can't believe you did this. It was so freaking funny. I think like his wife came out like at 3 a.m. It's like, what the hell is happening?
Oh my god.
But yeah, I was just watching it. It's like, that's gotta be. I mean, obviously it was his fault for that point, but like, it was like 6 tries and like 40 minutes each for that boss. It's just like, I can't imagine spending that much time just being that frustrated.
It'd be nice to have that much time to play a game like that.
Yeah,
In my
right.
opinion, yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, I would have finished the game this year. I haven't finished one game this year.
I don't know. Just the way the NPD does these numbers, it feels like this is the only way Xbox is going to have a win.
Yeah.
So far, this console generation, like, really, you got to combine.
Yeah.
Like, because they don't really do that for, like, other. Well, I don't know.
I'm kind of speaking on not a solid game.
It's a good game, but it's just like, well,
the shooter. It's
for all its sales and stuff, it's like really it takes a cross-platform combination just to beat Second Son, which I think should be real. In my opinion, I think it's the true number one.
No,
because when if you just do PS4 versus Xbox sales,
okay, you look at Titanfall. Titanfall is a shooter. It's a great. This is call it just a great shooter.
Yeah,
nothing bad about it, right? Call it nothing bad about it. A great shooter that only has multiplayer options, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, it's outselling Infamous Second Son that's only on one console. Has a lot of content, interesting story, a lot of stuff you can do, open world. Yeah, I'm buying Second Son.
I've not heard one bad thing about Second Son. And not only that, but it's got a freaking picture mode where you can actually adjust, I want to say, the ISO settings. Mm-hmm. And you can actually like haze the background or put a focal point just like you would like with any photo when you're taking a photo.
Like a DSLR?
So, yeah, DSLR where you can like, if you're taking a picture of a forest and then you just have that flower in the foreground and you have it focus on that to where everything else, or to where you can have everything with that weird, like where everything's focused so it kind of has that 3D look. Yeah, you can do all that. So you can have I forget the main character's name because it's not
Cole.
It's not Cole. It's some other new dude.
It's like Desmond or something like that.
No, it's Deslin or something.
Yeah, I think it's Deslin.
It's something with
I think
D.
it's Deslin.
So, anyways, yeah, you can have him like jumping from a skyscraper or something,
it's badass. And
then just have just take the photo there. Yeah. And then just have it look like a cool free fall picture.
Because they've always had like the camera missions. Because I played the first two. There's always been missions where there's like a photographer on the street.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey man, I want to take a picture, do a cool thing. Like go on top of the building and like do like a super jump off the building while like doing like a ground pound and you like take the picture. But you never get to take the picture, right? But you just like, and it's like cool. He has like a cool shot of you like jumping off a building.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's a picture mode now, like I can just tell that there's a whole bunch of cool stuff to snap.
Well, it's not only that, but it creates an interesting perspective for games for the future. Mm-hmm. Because you don't think much of it, but when you really think about it, like this creates a whole new reason to play video games for people that wouldn't normally play video games. Mm-hmm. So you can take all these really great pictures. You can take all these really great pictures and then print them out, put them on your wall, or people probably start selling them. They're like, hey, I made this really cool portrait.
Yeah.
And then just think of that being able to do that for like a Zelda game,
a
Dynasty Warriors game, a Metal Gear Solid game.
That'd be sick.
Where you can make these really great photos.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it just creates this like whole new opportunity and really expands how and why people play video games now.
I agree.
Because I don't know if you ever watched on PBS game show on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's a really great series. Their background is just screenshots taken from different video games.
Really?
Yeah, so you just see all these cool little skies and backdrops and stuff like that.
Nice.
And that's the whole back wall.
That's pretty cool.
So now, with something like this, it's going to put a whole new perspective on that. You're going to have all these really cool photos in the background.
Nice. Yeah, it's going to be cool. I mean, I think we just settled it. Yeah, Second Son, I think it's kind of like a Justin Wong getting second place at Evo.
Yeah.
It's like we know who the MVP of that night was.
Exactly. We know who the true champion is.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, moving on. We got a couple more topics, and then we'll wrap this up. Risei from the Persona 4 series is going to be a playable character in the latest game.
Yeah, and Persona 4 Arena, what is the name of it? Ultimax.
I was going to say Ultimate Climax.
Ultimate Climax. It's pretty much what they meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's going to be playable in it. I don't really have much to say. I mean, they don't say anything besides that. They just say Risei's going to be playable in P4A.
Well, I like what you had likened to her earlier in the conversation before we had actually started the podcast. What you had said earlier about her.
Oh, how about her being useless?
Well, not only that, you said that she was this game's version of Navi from Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, that's all she is. I mean, especially in Persona 4, she's just like a better version of Navi the fairy.
Yeah.
Just tells you what stuff is. I mean, Navi doesn't even do that. But
hey, listen.
Yeah, basically when you go into battle, you have a inspect option every time you go into a battle.
Okay.
That's basically where you say she tells you everything that's going on. It's like, well, this person's immune to this person's immune to this. You have a good chance of doing this. Get up, you're doing great. That kind of stuff.
That's it. Just cheerleader.
That's all she does. So yeah, so she's gonna be in arena. She's purely a support and like inspect character in the Persona. So people are interested to see what she's gonna be like. I'm not really, because they're gonna make it up.
Yeah.
As a Persona 4 player, I know they're gonna make up a lot of her moves. If they make her a support move, I don't know if she's gonna throw her weird goggle contraption at them. How she sees like distant stuff, but it'll be interesting. You know, I'm gonna like the Persona 4, the new Persona 4 Arena Ultimax game is probably gonna be really good. It's probably gonna look really good. Gonna go for Chie as always. Chie-chan, and you, the main character. But yeah, I don't have much to say about Rise being in it. It's cool. She's the main character, and it's cool that you actually get to play her now. But you never played her in the games. You don't really need to play her in the fighter. So I'm interested to see, because in the other fighter in the first arena, you literally you can just pick her as a announcer.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like she just replaces the. It's like if you replace the CVS to, I can't wait to see you. Let's go with just re-say like, you're doing good. Kick its ass.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just gonna breeze through these next couple. These are topics we didn't really get to cover, but we'll just say something quick about them. New Call of Duty. There was a picture released for the graphics. They don't look that good. Highly unimpressive, especially when you compare it to something like Battlefield 4 or literally any other next-gen game. Like you're going to have to try a little bit harder.
Yeah, step up your game.
Sledgehammer. Yeah, Sledgehammer games.
Jesus.
Another one was Dragon Age Inquisition coming in October. That just came out yesterday.
Yeah, if you haven't seen a gameplay trailer, well, there's been some gameplay, like early gameplay trailers released. There's been a recent one that's an actual Dragon Age Inquisition trailer. So it has some gameplay in it, and it looks really, really good.
Okay.
It looks like like an old shoulder view, kind of like Mass Effect or Skyrim. If you played Skyrim third person, it looks like that. The world looks beautiful. Graphics look good. Didn't show much combat, but it looks good. That's about it.
Nice. And second to final one, Assassin's Creed Unity is going to have 4-player co-op story mode.
From a buddy, Ingredients, that has played all the Assassin's Creeds alongside me, we've always wanted there to be this kind of function in multiplayer, where everybody can do certain stuff and like roll around the city and do their missions together. So I do see that being pretty cool, the co-op story. I hope they don't limit it to just like story missions, which you can just do everything together. But yeah, I've never been fond of multiplayer mode because it's very limited, and I feel like it would be kind of hard to make it that way to see how to balance them. But if they put you on the same side and put you on the story, I think that'll work out pretty well as far as we call them preemptively planning attacks and stuff, or assassinations.
Yeah.
I think that has the potential to be really, really cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But we'll see how it turns out.
All right, and last but not least, if you want to help me cover this topic while I look up the translation, someone has unlocked every single World of Warcraft achievement.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm trying to figure out what his name is.
Get this man's name.
Well, it's in Russian. That's the whole thing.
Yuri. His name Yuri.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out
Yuri Azimov. That's what I'm gonna call him.
Okay, so I guess in translated from Russian, it means Hiruko.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Is there a picture of this man?
I do not see a picture of this man. I'm thinking this is probably his avatar, which looks like a...
Is he a neckbeard?
No.
Just kidding.
But he unlocked every achievement, 205 of the 300 feats of strength, and a smattering of realm firsts.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't really have much more to say. The only thing I ever got was World Traveler, which I traveled every land in Azeroth.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, that's all I did.
I'm sure people are saying that you're a nub right now.
Huh?
Sure, everybody's saying that you're a noob right now.
I'm a noob.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's all you did?
That's weird. I did that when I first played the game.
But yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. If you've ever played anything of WoW, this is pretty freaking amazing. If somebody did. I don't know if it's the best thing to how much time that takes to do, but damn, hats off to you, sir.
Yeah,
you did it.
I got this article from Destructoid. This is the last thing I'll say. Is like, I guess Kotaku has a link to the forum where he explains his methods, and it boils down to using multiple accounts and wiping out other players on low population realms.
What?
So he used multiple accounts. I guess this just wasn't on one account, which kind of cheapens it all. But so I guess in sum total, he's
unlocked every
yeah
achievement. Oh, I guess if there's like class specific achievements that you can't get with one character, maybe.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's actually true. So that would involve multiple accounts.
Well, would that involve multiple characters or multiple accounts?
Well, yeah, maybe multiple. Maybe they're considering multiple accounts as characters.
Maybe. I'm not sure how this is done.
Who knows? I'll have to do more research on
multi-boxing
if I feel like it.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, that's all we got for you guys today.
Thanks for tuning in.
Shout outs to Luis from the Comic Board for listening in.
Thanks, Luis.
Once again, I'm Jay Agamemnon.
And I am a coffee drinking Bobbybeatle.
And this has been Save File Corrupted. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to find us on Mixler.com right here /PetWar. You can find us on Facebook.com. Just look up Punching the Walls of Reality. You can find us on Twitter @PTWOR. And make sure to tune in every Monday night right here on Mixler for Straight Outta Austin. And you can follow the Comic Board as well every Friday evening at 8 p.m. 9 Eastern. 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern, I believe. So, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Now your week is scheduled. Have a good night.
This has been another proud production of the 4-Eyed Radio Network. You want to see more shows, go check out www.4eyedradio.com, you winker.